And 1 month away until Election Day, and Georgia's Secretary of State's office says that they are working behind the scenes as recovery from Helene continues to make sure that every vote is counted. Our Liza Lucas is live at the state capitol, where a news conference just wrapped up not too long ago. So, Liza, how does the state look as we're all getting ready for Election Day?
Well, I think the overall message, Jonathan, was better than anticipated, particularly in light of all the destruction that we saw following Helene. 7.1 million active voters right now in the state of Georgia. And as you mentioned, the Secretary of State's office pulling all the stops out to make sure all of those votes are impacted, even those that were in the direct path of the storm. Now, the Georgia Secretary of State's office says that they have been in daily contact with GEMA. They've also visited several impacted counties like Lowndes, Columbia, and Richmond. And for the most part, the Secretary of State's office says county election offices were spared, including equipment. They say that equipment is safe and secure. Now, right now, Secretary of State only reporting 3 out of 2,400 election day locations could be affected. So the majority of voters will avoid any storm-related issues. There are a handful of USPS offices still interrupted by Helene. Now, that impacts less than 700 absentee ballots, we're told, and they're working on getting an alternative means for getting those voters their ballots. But speaking of the Postal Service, I did have a chance to ask the Secretary of State's office about their confidence in the system, given the delays we've seen in the past 6 months here in Georgia. Gabe Sterling says, while you may have to wait to get your absentee ballot via the Postal Service, via mail, you don't have to send it back that way. You can use a drop box or hand it off at your local registrar.
If I'm getting an absentee ballot and I feel like I have to vote that way, I will take it or have somebody who can legally carry it for me to take it. That's what I would recommend doing, because why take the risk with your vote? The other thing you can do, which is what most Georgians do, 60 to 65% are going to show up and vote in person early. And that is the best way, because you can plan your vote.
Plan your vote. Make a plan. Those are the messages from the Secretary of State's office today. Again, that was Gabe Sterling with that office reiterating that. We also should note that there is a disaster site set up on the Secretary of State's main page for those directly impacted by the storm. So if you were in the path and your area still is recovering, they've got specific details for you as we get closer to Election Day. Live at the Capitol, Liza Lucas, 11 Alive News.
Okay.